Hey, before you watch this whole video, you should know that you're able to slow it down if it's going too fast. All you have to do is click the gear icon and select playback speed. Any of these options above normal will slow it down. Hi, I'm Becky. Welcome to the Direct Message video tutorials. In today's episode, we're going to be covering how to set up a Zoom account and how to use Zoom for Mac computers. It is a video calling service that was originally made for businesses, but you can also make a personal account and talk to your friends and family all at once. It's extremely helpful, especially during lockdown periods of the COVID-19 pandemic. Maybe you've already used it for the holidays that just passed, but just in case you haven't, we're going to walk you through how to set it up and how to use it. If you already have an email address or a social media account like Facebook, then setup for Zoom is really easy. If you haven't set up an email address yet, then you can go back to see a previous episode where we explain how to set up an email account for all the major devices. The first thing we need to do is go to the Zoom website. We'll do this by opening up Safari web browser located at the bottom of the screen. Double-click it with your trackpad or mouse to continue. This will open up a new internet browser window. Inside of the search box at the top of the window, type in zoom.us and press return. Now we're on the Zoom website. To begin, we're going to click the orange sign up button located in the top right-hand side of the window. On the next page, it asks you for your date of birth. Once you fill it out, click continue. Now it will ask for your email address. Fill it out and then click the blue button that says sign up. This will bring us to the next page, which is where Zoom tests us to make sure that we're not a robot. We call this the robot test. So it's asking us to select all the images that have a crosswalk in it. This is kind of confusing and deliberately so. So take your time, and if you mess up, don't worry, because you can always do it again. And if you have vision impairment issues, you can take an audio test instead by clicking the headphones icon below. Whatever test you take, once you're finished, click Verify below. You're brought to a page that says that Zoom has sent you an email to your email account. And so now we have to access our email account. We can do this by closing down the browser, by hitting the red X in the top left-hand corner of the window and opening up a new one. A quicker way to do this, albeit a little bit more confusing, is to go to the web address at the top of the page where it says zoom.us, click it until it is all highlighted in blue, erasing that and typing in gmail.com and hit return. Welcome back to your email account. We'll see here that there's a new email. If you have not yet received an email verification from Zoom, then it's likely that you didn't put in your correct email address. Go back to the Zoom website and make sure you type in your email address correctly. Also remember that if we don't see an email that we're expecting in our inbox, there might be a chance that it went to our spam box. So we can check for the Zoom email there. I'm going to quickly show you how to do that. Remember from last time, we can see all of our mailboxes on the left-hand side of the window. First, click More in order to see your spam box. And then once you see it, click on it to open it. As you can see, my spam box is empty, but maybe the Zoom email is there for you. My Zoom email is in my main inbox. I'm going to click on it now to show you what to do next. After I click on it, it opens up the email. First, we want to verify that the sender is Zoom. It says, no reply at zoom.us. Zoom.us is the trusted website, and therefore we know that this email is safe. You'll see in the email that there's a big orange button that says Activate Your Account. This is the link that we click to activate our account. From our email, we're brought to this page that asks for your first name, your last name, and for you to create a password for your Zoom account. Now, it's important that you don't use the same password that you use for all of your accounts, because if someone was able to guess your password, then they would be able to hack into all of your accounts if they all have the same password. When you're ready, click Continue at the bottom of the screen. If you're using Safari web browser, it will prompt you to save your password. I find this feature handy so that I don't have to remember my password every time I sign in, but it's also important that you don't do this if you happen to share your computer with others. So now Zoom is asking us to fill in our friends' email addresses to invite them to Zoom. This step is not necessary, but what is necessary is another robot test. Click the white box to begin the robot test. This test is asking us to identify all the images that have traffic lights in them. Oops! I didn't get it right. That's okay, I can do it again. Now this test is asking us to identify all the images with bridges in it. Let's see if I can do it this time. Boom! We in. Who's a robot now? Once you've completed the robot test and you don't want to add your friends' emails addresses in, you can click Skip this step in gray. Then it will bring us to this page. We're almost done. Now all we have to do is click Go to my account, also in gray. This is what our Zoom account looks like on a web browser. There are many options, but you'll only ever need to use 3. In the top right-hand part of the window, you'll notice 3 options: Schedule a meeting, Join a meeting, and Host a meeting, which are all in blue. No matter which option you choose, Zoom will prompt you to download the Zoom app. In our case, we clicked Host a meeting. Although it's not necessary to download the Zoom app, I find it's very easy to use Zoom this way. It prevents us from needing to use the web browser to get to our account. If you find downloading the Zoom app too confusing, don't worry, you don't have to do it. You can just access Zoom through your web browser. To begin the download, click Allow. At this point, Zoom will begin downloading on your Mac computer. You'll notice on your bottom toolbar that a new icon will appear that says Downloads. It looks like this. When you click it, you'll notice that zoom.pkg appears in the download icon. Now click on the zoom.pkg and it'll pop up this window. This is the Install Zoom window, also known as the installer on Mac. Click Continue to go to the next page. On this page, you can choose where to locate Zoom on your computer. It's not necessary though, so you can just press Continue to move on. This next window asks you about the installation type. This doesn't really apply to us right now, so just click Install in blue. If there's a password on your computer, it's going to ask you to type it in right now. Type it in and press the blue button. Once you're done typing it, click the blue button that says Install Software. Now your computer will take a few minutes to install Zoom. Once the installation is successful, it will pop up this window. This might be confusing to some, so let me explain. The computer will prompt you to delete the Zoom installer, not to be confused with the Zoom app. You can choose to delete it if you want, but regardless, it will not affect the Zoom app or your video calling. Once it's downloaded successfully, it will be located in your bottom toolbar. Double-click it to open the app. Now that we've opened it, it looks like this. Type in the meeting ID and the password if there is one, and click Join. But if you want to host the meeting and start it yourself, then you'll need to sign in to do so. This is how most of our Zoom meetings will start. Once we click the button that says Join with Computer Audio, that will take us inside the meeting. Now I'm going to show you some features of Zoom. Now we're going to go through the buttons at the bottom. They're very useful and simple. Keep in mind that there's no one on this video call with us, but if there was, you'd be able to see them in the screen. Start off with this button here, the mute button. It looks like this. When we left click it with our mouse or our trackpad, we can turn our microphone off. A red slash through the microphone icon will appear, and we can turn it back on by simply clicking it again. This is extremely handy if you have other noises going on in your room. I've noticed that some people's microphones are stronger than other people's, so if you are in a noisy room, it might detract away from someone else talking. So it's good practice to only put on your microphone when you're trying to speak. Beside the mute icon is the start video icon. It looks like this. Right now it has a red slash through it. Most of the time it stays off automatically until you manually turn it on. We can turn it on by clicking it, but let's leave it off for now. There are a few more buttons to go over, but the most popular ones are chat and share screen. This is the chat icon. It looks like this. When you click it, it opens up a chat window. You can type messages to other people in the call. If you click the word file, it even allows you to attach files to send to your friends and family, like a picture or a video or a document or a song. When you click the chat icon again, it will hide the chat box. Next to the chat icon is a green icon that's for sharing your screen. When we click that, it enables us to share our screen with everyone else on the call. This is also really great if you need help with something like setting up a program. When you're ready to leave the meeting or end your call, you can do that by pressing the red button in the bottom right-hand side of the window. It says End Call. Once you click it, it will ask you to confirm, so giving you another chance to not leave the meeting. In our case, because we made this meeting, if we click this button, it will end the meeting for everyone. You can join a meeting without signing in by inputting the meeting code and the password that a family member or friend gives you. All you have to do is click Join a Meeting. That's really all there is to it, but stay tuned for some Zoom etiquette tips later. Thank you for watching the direct message video tutorials on how to set up Zoom for Mac computers. Click here to watch our next episode.